Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us for News 360. It's live from our News Hub studios right here at Artisan Kanda, Accra. My name is Roland Walker.
And I am Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Coming up in the bulletin this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by Deluxe Super Fix Tile Cement, Heaven Insecticide Spray and Coil,
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste,
and Apa Foods.
My Life Insurance.
Former Minister of Water, Resources, Works and Housing, Alhaji Collins Dauda, and 4 others charged with causing financial loss to the state in the Saglemi housing deal.
I'll also tell you how lawyers were embattled at St. North Member of Parliament to file appeal against the decision of the Cape Coast High Court nullifying the parliamentary election on Monday.
Also coming up, University Teachers Association of Ghana to withdraw all teaching and related activities from Monday, August 2.
We'll take you to the OT region where residents there are worried about delay in constructing a bridge linking the northern and southern sectors, which currently apparently is impacting socio-economic development of the area.
International Front, World Food Programme says part of a convoy of 208 trucks held up while heading for Ethiopia's northern war-torn region of Tigray has been allowed to leave.
Remember, well, the details of these, including sports and the latest in entertainment, and also telling you why you should join us on TV3 Ghana on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and then also through the DSTV channel 279.
Let's settle for the details. Now, former Minister for Water, Resources, Works and Housing, Alhaji Collins Dauda, has been charged with causing financial loss to the state in the Saglemi housing deal. The former minister has also been charged with intentionally misapplying public property.
The former Works and Housing Minister, who is also the Member of Parliament for Esutifi South constituency, has been accused of altering the original agreement for the Saglemi housing project without recourse to Parliament. He is accused of having intentionally misapplied $200 million by causing the said amount approved by Parliament to construct 5,000 housing units to be applied towards the payment of 1,412 housing units under the Saglemi affordable housing project. Another former Works and Housing Minister during the NDC administration, Kwekwa Mensa, has also been charged. Other persons charged are Andrew Klokanas, Nuvi Tete Angelo, and Ziblim Yakubu. The Saglemi affordable housing project is sited on a 300-acre land and financed by a loan agreement between Government of Ghana and Credit Suisse International for $200 million. The amount was to be used for the construction of 5,000 affordable housing units. The project was later reviewed without recourse to Parliament, and the initial plan was reduced to 1,500 housing units. In 2016, former President Mahama commissioned the first phase of the project to complete 1,500 of the 5,000 housing units.
Now, Director of Legal Affairs for the NDC, Abraham Malaba, says lawyers for the embattled St. North Member of Parliament will file an appeal on Monday against the decision of the Cape Coast High Court nullifying the parliamentary elections for 2020. Speaking on the key points, the legal practitioner added that the party will also file a stay of execution on same day over the decision of the Cape Coast High Court.
The Cape Coast High Court on Wednesday, July 28th, announced the 2020 St. North parliamentary election results. Justice Boachi, in his judgment, noted that the NDC 2020 parliamentary candidate breached provisions of the Constitution with regard to dual citizenship. The presiding judge, Justice Kwesi Boachi, said Joe Jechi Kwesin was restrained from holding himself out as Member of Parliament elect for the St. North constituency. Speaking on the key points, Director of Legal Affairs for the NDC, Abraham Malaba, berated the conduct of the registry at the Cape Coast High Court, which prevented lawyers for Jechi Kwesin from filing some processes.
So the conduct of the registry in subverting the first respondents' legal action must also be brought to fore. And that is how come were not able to file the legal arguments. There's a petition that is going to be sent to the Chief Justice on Monday in respect of the conduct of the registrar, because the registry is headed by a registrar.
Abraham Amaleba noted the lawyers for Joe Jachikwason will be filing a stay of execution.
You cannot worry your worries away. So what you need to do is to act. And so clearly on Monday, we are filing an appeal, and that will soon be followed with a stay of execution.
Amaleba maintained the NDC will win any by-election conducted in a free and peaceful manner.
I have told Nana Akufo-Addo not to send hoodlums and thieves and then blood-sucking people to the place, as they did at Ayawaso. If they stop that, if they don't do that, we will win the seat. We won it by 3,000.
Well.
And the good people of Asin North also know how difficult the country is. The good people of Asin North know that they are not running this country well.
Director of Elections of the governing NPP, Evans Nimako, said the NPP is ready to partake in the by-election, adding the party will win back the seat.
Stated time is given for the by-election. The new patriotic party will do the necessary things according to the law and will win back the seat.
Private legal practitioner and law lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, Justice Abdullahi, said that he foresees a criminal prosecution being initiated against Joe Jachikwason.
I foresee the state coming after him, similar to what happened to Abraham Musa Kande. And if the state is coming after him on the basis of all these, having committed electoral fraud, it will be impossible for him to be able to contest. But if the state does not, then he might be able, but I do not foresee that happening.
Justice Abdullahi also criticized the conduct of the Electoral Commission for failing to conduct due diligence.
Because really they have that mandate to ensure that whoever contests for an election is qualified within our laws to contest for that election. Yeah. They have the obligation to do the necessary due diligence to ensure that everybody claiming to be a contestant, to
qualified,
is indeed qualified. It saves all of us this trouble from having to have yet another election and also spending a lot of resources just to have another election, which is so needless.
It will be recalled that one Michael Ankuman Nifa, a mason and resident of Asin Breku, filed the petition over the dual citizenship of Joe Jachikwason.
Now, when the finance minister in his mid-year budget statement mentioned plans to raise 100 cedis a month donations to help complete the National Cathedral, it was met with unprecedented reactions across the country. But how does the short code work? My colleague Martin Isiedudate has more.
Perhaps the most popular short code in Ghana right now is *979#, which allows you to make a donation to the building of the National Cathedral. Now, we have tried out the options and how the process works and realized that you actually can pay way less than the 100 Ghana cedi, which is being bandied about in the media or on social media. Let's take you through the process and see how it works. So after dialing *979#, you are given 3 options. And the options are either you become a 100 Ghana cedi a month club member, or you make other donations, or you exit. Then if you choose to pay the 100 Ghana cedi a month, it gives you 2 options, which is either you do a one-time payment or you become a subscriber. Now here are the differences. If you pick the one-time payment, you have at least, the least amount you can pay is 600 Ghana cedis or as high as 3,000 Ghana cedis. If you become a subscriber, you are either going to pay 100 cedis for 2 months or 36 months, or you customize to pay any amount that you want. If you choose to do other donations, you could donate as low as 5 cedis or as much as you either can, and be just like the one-time payment when you become a subscriber or on subscription basis. But the conversation has almost always hovered around the 100 cedi that was mentioned by the finance minister in Parliament when he gave the mid-year budget review. Let's take some of the public perception that greeted that announcement.
Recently, they commissioned the National Mosque, which was sponsored by the Turkish government, meaning the taxes of the people of Turkey was used to build that mosque. There was no noise over it, but when it came to the cathedral for the Christian, All arsenals are thrown to prevent it. Our disdain for God and things of God is sickening. If you won't pay, just be quiet and allow those who would pay. The cathedral will be built with or without your support. Even my church's worship center was not built by Susu, but as a result of prudent management from funds accrued to the church. I won't attend any service in that cathedral, so I won't pay. Ekufuado promised God that he will build it, so he must use his salary to build it. Don't stress Ghanaians, now we are tired already. Wate, ibufusem.
So the building of the National Cathedral, which government seems to be bent on building or constructing, will leave the nation divided, and we'll keep talking about this for decades to come. But it is only posterity that will judge us as to whether it is as important as we are told it is or otherwise. Martin Esiedudate, TV3 News, Accra.
Oh, very interesting there. One category of people in Ghana who could also donate to that building of the National Cathedral, university teachers. Now, their main association, the University Teachers Association of Ghana, they have now notified all its members to withdraw all teaching and related activities, and this will be effected from Monday, August 2, 2021. Now, in a circular jointly signed by the National President, Professor Charles Mafu, as well as the National Secretary, Dr. Eric Abavari, on Friday, July 30, it indicated that all campuses across Ghana are to withdraw teaching, examinations, invigilation, marking of examination scripts, and apparently the processing of examination result services, among others, until further notice. But before we engage the UTAG, now let's tell you what the latest and what it all comprises. Now, we all do know that usually before they come to the decision, there should be some status of how negotiations with their employer government would have gone so far. Now, the Memorandum of Understanding, or the agreement as signed on June 16, 2021, was supposed to have been implemented effective August 2021. The big question will be, where were they going to proceed? So government then will consider a review of the current rate of research allowance payable in 2022 among our considerations. Now, the issue also of the relative value of their salaries as averred by UTAG will be constituted within 30 days as indicated, and also consider all the issues and make recommendations to government for approval. It looks like the University Teachers Association of Ghana may not have been happy after all about how situations have gone. Dr. Bavari is joining us now. Good evening to you. Now, Dr. Nkumba, Dr. Samuel Nkumba. Now, if you take a look at the current state of negotiations and the decisions now you're having to give your members that ultimatum that from Monday you stop all those teaching and actions as per what is in your key performance index, it will mean that negotiations may have stalled. Is that the situation?
Very much so. Where we've gotten to, we consider that negotiations have stalled. The reason being that every 2 years, it is the case that we should renegotiate our conditions of service, right? And I must put on record that we submitted a document which we are engaging currently in 2018, which means that if we were to have had negotiations in 2018, this year we should be renegotiating our conditions of service. And so it's taken government 3 years to study our document and to engage with us in terms of what our requests are in relation to the fact that we now are working in very deplorable service conditions. And so it's the case that for 3 good years, having traveled all that road without getting any meaningful results, the indication is that government isn't taking our situation as seriously as we think they ought to. And that is what has led us to the end of this route.
I have to say that once your responses are very much well couched in labor jargons, the ordinary Ghanaian would not understand. Tell us the situation of an ordinary professor or a doctor, head of a department, and in terms of the status and the structure of what you receive, so that is put into perspective by the ordinary Ghanaian. What is it?
Awesome. So the situation is this, that as of 2003, an agreement was reached with the government of the time that via a roadmap which was going to last for a period of 5 years, ending in the year 2008. The entry point of a lecturer with a PhD would be a CD equivalent of $1,500 as basic salary. And then, of course, that was achieved as of 2008. And following from there was the bringing into force of the single spine pay policy, which also, given that if we were to be gravitating along the annual increments on the basis of the CD equivalent of the $1,500, in 2012-2013, an interim market premium was given, which was 114% of the basic salary at the time. And so in terms of dollar equation, that gave the entry point of a lecturer $2,084 payable in CD equivalent. As we speak, from 2013, the market premium, because labor market survey hadn't been done, and because the market premium was interim, government decided to put a freeze on its rise along with the basic pay. And so from 2013 until date, the market premium component of our emoluments has been constant. And if you were to value that in terms of the fact that it was to be 114% of basic salary, you are now talking about market premium standing at 54%. And also that in terms of the value of the CD to the dollar, today, both market premium and basic salary put together, the entry point of a lecturer is somewhere $997 equivalent.
Okay, so let me just tell you that.
Apparently, what it means in effect is that from 2012 until now, the lecturers have lost a value of $1,086.
Okay.
If you were to translate that into the CD equivalent.
Right. So do I get it then that you want that restoration from when negotiations started up to the point from 2003 to about 2012, where you want $2,084 equivalent? And if I do the calculation currently with a calculator on my phone, I get $12,295 based on a 5.9 exchange rate for the CD to a dollar. Is that what you want currently?
Right. So what it is that this is the proposition we've made to government, that we are not asking for any increment. What we agreed on, which was payable to us as of 2012, we are simply saying that given the current situation, restore us back to that level, and then if there is any conversation to be made in relation to increases. So assuming, without admitting that if every year, on the basis of that base, we were getting 10% average increment every year. We are talking about an entry point of over $3,000.
Okay.
But today we are at $999, both basic salary and market premium inclusive.
Right.
And so, in simple terms, we are not asking for any increments. We are not asking for any salary adjustment or any. But we are just saying that given the erosion that has happened as a matter of the value of the CD against the dollar, and also given the fact that the market premium has been freezing, it's been frozen since 2013 until now, we are worse off by $1,086. Could you kindly restore us to that level?
That's all.
Back to that level so we can make progress.
Well, I think that's a good ask, but we are not your employer, so we'll see how that goes. But the reality is that Dr. Samuel Nkumban, who is the University of Ghana Teachers Association UG chapter president, is among all of those public university heads of UTAG who are asking for their premiums to be restored as agreed back from 2012. What we'll do right here on TV3 News is to bring you all the latest update, break down all those explanations for you, Aisha.
Definitely, definitely. Let's now go to the OT region, where a bridge across the OT River at Dambai has become the pressing need for the people of the region. They contend the delay in constructing a bridge to link the northern and southern sectors remains the bane of socio-economic development in the area.
Dambai is one of the 3 links between the northern and southern parts of the country. It is, however, only accessible by crossing the Oti River using a ferry. Aside from the time spent in waiting for the ferry schedules, its constant breakdown in the river, as well as vehicles slipping into the river, are other setbacks. Worst of all, the ferry operates between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., compelling commuters to risk sleeping at the banks of the river. The construction of a bridge across the river as the preferred choice became a major political campaign promise during the 2016 electioneering by both the NDC and NPP. The need became even more profound when Dambai was made the capital of the Oti region. President Akufo-Addo has on numerous occasions assured the people of the fulfillment of the promise. On Wednesday, May 15, 2019, he was categorical.
A bridge over Oti River. Dutch company, Intol FDN, has made a proposal to the Roads and Highways Ministry to be able to undertake the task. The pre-feasibility has been completed. The term sheet setting out the financial terms is being examined today at the Ministry of Finance. Roads Minister is waiting for the no objection letter from Finance before they can negotiate the construction agreement, which will then be brought to Cabinet and to Parliament from parliamentary approval. The Minister for Roads and Highways has indicated to me by the 4th quarter of this year, construction of the bridge over Oti region will have begun.
2 years and 2 months has gone by, yet no sign of a construction work on the proposed bridge over River Oti. And the youth and people of Kratchi, led by a pressure group, give a listening ear to Kratchi, says it is time to act.
Those days when you're going to the north, over 80 to 90% of the vehicles that go to Tamale go through Kratchi. Today we are a peninsula. If you want to leave Kratchi, the buses that move from here start at 2 o'clock. Not that they are going to Accra, they are just going to Dambai to go and wait there for over 5 hours to be able to cross to get to Accra on time.
Leading member of the group, Daniel Kwesi Nkrumah, wants the Akufo-Addo-led NPP government to deliver on its promise.
The most sorted for, that is a bridge, which even the fetus in the womb is crying for. Let Ghana listen to us. They should just get at the bridge now, and it must be within this year.
The Kratchi Ruler and President of the Oti Regional House of Chiefs, Nana Impra Besemuna III, bemoaned what he described as unfair treatment.
We get loans to develop certain areas, but when it comes to certain areas, then your loan profile or debt profile is so high that you don't want to add. If we are all paying for the loan that we have taken, why is it that some of the loans too cannot trickle to us so that as a collective, when we are all paying for, we all know what we have gotten from the loans? Why is it that when it comes to some of us, it is difficult to get a loan for us? So we feel that situation is very, very unfair. And we are very serious about this bridge thing.
They want all Ghanaians to join them pressure government to do the needful.
It's come to a time that we all have to speak up. I don't think anybody doubts the need for the bridge. But maybe the bridge is not being built for us because we are not important. And we are also saying that we shouldn't wait because other people didn't wait for us to get everything before they gave them what they have given them. The only infrastructure basic thing that we can say in Oti here, if it is a bridge, why not? Are people not getting how many interchange? Why interchange can also build a bridge for us? If Accra alone is having about 6 interchanges, and we need 1 bridge, can't you sacrifice 1 interchange?
Down south, the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Mavis Hawakumsin, has performed a special ceremony at the Albert Busumtwe Sam Fishing Harbour in Sekondi in the Western region to officially open the fishing season for the canoe and inshore fishers. She pleaded with fishers to desist from engaging in illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing activities.
Fishers along the coast of the country last month observed the closed season, and with that, all forms of fishing expedition and activities were ceased for 31 days. The closed season, instituted in 2016, forms part of strategies agreed with stakeholders to help reduce excessive fishing pressure and overexploitation of fish stock. Addressing fishers from all the coastal regions, Sector Minister Mavis Hawakumsin expressed confidence the closed season will enable the sector achieve the desired long-term objectives of stock recovery. She registered her ministry's readiness to enforce laws on fishing and its related activities.
As the sea is being opened to them to go for their fishing, we'll caution them about the illegal activities. We say we don't want psycho, light fishing, dynamite, DDT, and all the illegal activities on the sea. If anyone should be caught, the person will be arrested.
Assessing this year's closed season, the Fisheries and Aquaculture Minister commended the compliance level of fishermen. Chief of Esikado Traditional Area, Nana Kobnen Ketia V, urged fishermen to be conscious of their surroundings with the increase in pirate activities along the Gulf of Guinea.
Our fish stock is being depleted. It's our duty to stop all forms of illegal fishing practices.
Some of the fishers admitted that the fish stock is depleting because of their own actions and inactions. They therefore pledged to shun away from illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. The industrial trawlers will, however, continue to observe the closed season until August 31, 2021.
In other news, Executive Secretary of the Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values, Moses Fuamwini, is insisting Ghana does not breach any international law if it criminalizes LGBTQI acts. The lawyer tells Roland Walker President Akufo-Addo, as head of the executive, will have no option than to assent to the bill if it is passed because it reflects the will and sovereignty of Ghanaians.
There's a certain deception, as I said, part of the propaganda, that if we sign, we're going to lose money. I've explained to you how many donor funds come into this country, from where. We know the places where we have our donor money. Don't forget that when the comprehensive sexuality education was coming in, it was tied to, I hear, $20 million from Switzerland. We didn't pursue it, so they took their money away. Has Ghana faded into oblivion? Of course not. We are not. So if you tie your donor funds to activities that are illegal in Ghana, we are not going to take it. In any case, the central theme of this current government, by under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo, is Ghana beyond aid. What he wants to show is that we are tired of receiving cup in hand, going around begging for aid. So we should do better and look inward to ourselves. That is at the centerpiece of the present political, economic, and social developmental agenda. And so if the president is posturing that we should move away from donor, how can anybody say that, oh, because of donor funds, we'll be blacklisted, so let's, go after this sort of behavior?
Away from this, a former Inspector General of Police under the Kufuor administration, Patrick Echampong, has bemoaned the growing tendency to malign the security services and its personnel. Speaking on the sidelines of the official pull-out ceremony for outgoing IGP James Opon-Buenu, he admonished Ghanaians to take interest in prevailing situations to be better judges.
I believe we can do more to become one of the most peaceful countries in the world with the right leadership and policies and the continuous regular supply of man-needed resources to the service. I want to urge all personnel of the Ghana Police Service and the good people of this country to give the necessary support to the incoming IGP and his administration to effectively discharge the core mandate of the police service to maintain law and order. In this era of the emergence of sophisticated crimes perpetrated by a network of organized criminal gangs, the new IGP can only succeed when it is accorded the requisite support by all and sundry.
That was the outgone Inspector General of Police, James Opon-Buenu, when he bid farewell after 33 years of dedicated service as a public officer. The ceremony attracted many service personnel and retired officers, including former IGPs. A former IGP, Patrick Echampong, was not happy over some public comment regarding the police and security agencies in general.
The institution is there, the program is there, so the problem is not that it is not institutionalized, but we Africans sometimes we combine political issues with professional things. I mean, if an IGP is going and you hold this for him, it's good for unity. At least it gives them a sense. Otherwise, there are always so many rumors. This one doesn't like this one doesn't like that. If it had not been held, they would blame the incoming one that, oh, he doesn't want it done to him and things like that, you see. So it's good that it's been done for him. It has nothing to do with you civilians or with the politicians, isn't it? But sometimes people combine and they make a conflict out of nothing.
Patrick Echampong wants Ghanaians to take keen interest in knowing prevailing security situations to better educate others.
Because most of the things that the police we need, they are linked with money. So if they give him money, he'll perform. But there are some things that cannot be done if you haven't prepared. That's my one regret about the press. You don't research to find out what is the problem with the police. When something happens, you don't find out what is happening in terms of training and preparation of our people for public order.
James Opombuenu exited the police as the 22nd Inspector General of Police.
And now the Interior Minister Ambrose Jerry has warned immigration officers at the borders to stop taking bribes and allowing foreigners enter the country illegally. Speaking at the commissioning of a COVID-19 testing facility at the immigration headquarters, the minister noted 5 officers are presently being investigated over bribery allegations and will be dealt with when found guilty.
The facility, situated at the car park of the Immigration Service headquarters in Accra, is open to the public. It would ensure constant testing of officers since they are the first point of contact at the country's borders. Expatriates would also have to undergo various testing at the facility. Controller General of the Immigration Service, Kwame Esuatechi, explained further the reasons for establishing the facility.
The service is committed to complementing the government effort of maintaining adequate human resource base at the workplace and at all times in order not to collapse the public service institutions such as the Ghana Immigration Service, and also to control the spread of COVID-19 by tracing, testing and treatment.
The Interior Minister Ambrose Jerry urged officers of the service to avail themselves for testing.
I want to appeal to GIS to make sure that they apply this testing facility to those drivers and mates who are hauling the goods into this country, that we don't, by that window, import COVID-19 cases. The land borders remain closed. I want to warn all those who think that they can continue to use unapproved routes to get into this country and therefore sabotage our efforts at keeping extremism out in COVID-19.
The minister warned officers taking bribes and allowing foreigners enter the country illegally to desist from doing so. He added that 5 officers are currently being investigated over allegations of bribery.
Let me make it clear to all officers that anyone found engaged in those unprotected acts will be dealt with. Let us make sure that our officers do not, pursuant to the allegations, take monies and allow people in. It will be too expensive for us.
He charged the Commissioner General to make sure the facility is well maintained.
You're watching News 360 live here on TV3. Remember, you can log on to 3news.com to find more news on entertainment, on business, international. There's also sports, lifestyle, and all of Tilapia's work can be found there as well.
Well, definitely. And then also you can watch all our streams as they have been piped through 3news.com, and you can see the link there, TV3 Live, through our YouTube channel.
Phantom X, new Elise flagship. Be bold, be extraordinary.
I'm going to interview Zuzum right here in my house. Hey!
Look up there. Why are you using inferior pen?
It was a mistake. I no check.
Acrobat, I'm going to knock you out.
I know, sir.
You deserve quality.
Don't make mistakes. Stop!
You did the right thing.
When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any paint, be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleansoft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful.
Cleansoft, my favorite.
Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, clean all.
Magic pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa ne no abe. Come on, Gino, do your magic. And papa no kunu abefi. Bring them back home.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Over 3,000 woodworkers at Kasiangloga in Kumasi, they have vowed to resist any attempt to evict them without a relocation plan. The artisans have been served with notice to vacate the land they currently occupy, just to pave way for its redevelopment.
The woodworkers occupied this portion of land belonging to the defunct jute factory in 1996. For 24 years, the artisans have been conducting their trading activities without any interruption. But in September 2020, managers of the jute factory served the woodworkers with eviction notice. The notice was ignored because the artisans claimed there was no relocation plan attached to it. On June 1, 2021, another eviction letter was served on them. The news team cited a copy of the letter which states, "You are by this notice given final deadline of 2 weeks from today, that is 15 June 2021, to vacate the land to enable us undertake a project at the site. But the woodworkers insist they will only vacate the land with a relocation plan."
Our major challenge is where to go and continue our businesses. Where are we locating to? That's why we want government to intervene. We are ready to move if we are provided with a new trading place. However, we won't sit unconcerned and allow anyone to evict us without relocation plan.
We are appealing to Asantehene and President Akufo-Addo to come to our aid. They should relocate us as was done to woodworkers at Agloga. We are traders and not criminals.
Chairman of the Angola Woodworkers Association, however, confirmed a land has been made available for them to relocate, but there is a boundary dispute over the said land.
We are currently occupying about 30 acres, but a land made available for us to relocate is just 4 acres. Apart from it being a wetland, there is also boundary dispute between the chief of Kasi and Atonsu. We don't know what to do now.
Meanwhile, the Asqua Assembly says effort is being made to relocate the woodworkers to continue their business.
Some inhabitants of the southern Volta have threatened to resist moves to ban harvesting of mangroves. They contend harvesting mangroves serve as alternative livelihood for them, and any decision on its management or otherwise cannot be done unilaterally.
Mangroves are trees and shrubs that grow in the coastal intertidal zone. Records show there are about 80 different species of mangroves. All of these grow in areas with low oxygen soil where slow-moving waters allow fine sediments to accumulate. 3 of the mangrove species, the red, white and black, grow along the Keta-Anglong Lagoon offshore complex, covering about a 300-kilometer square area. The Keta, Anglong, Mango and Avu lagoons together cover a land area of about 530 kilometers square and stretch over 40 kilometers. It is considered to be the largest lagoon in the country. The mangroves, apart from their extraordinary role in providing and protecting the various ecosystems, serve as diverse resource for the people. Agbotadua Ahevi of Jita acknowledged the role of the mangroves but expressed regret over their exclusion in decision-making process. Manager for the Keta Lagoon Offshore Complex, Lawrence Tete Oklu, called for effective stakeholder collaboration.
Today, Mangrove Day, is a day that we are using to create awareness about the importance of mangroves, the role they play in the ecosystems. They stabilize the shoreline, they provide habitats for wildlife, income for the local people. But there is excessive exploitation of this natural resource. Hence the need for us to come together to advocate for the protection of our mangroves ecosystems.
The National Wetland Operation Manager of the Forestry Commission, Dixon Ajiman, proposed the acquisition of land for mangrove plantation.
The rate at which we are cutting, if we do not think about how we can sustainably manage, then in future our children will not even see the mangrove. So sustainable management is very important. If we turn the conservation area, one, it will promote ecotourism. It will serve as a gene pool. Anytime we need mangrove seed or mangrove for any other use, we can go there and take it.
And so the idea of today is to use a platform to both educate, against indiscriminate mangrove cutting, and also some of the unsustainable practices like using mangrove sites as dump sites for refuse and all that, but also encourage those who are actually planting as well.
The Deba was another theme: mangroves, our lifeline, our livelihoods.
In other news, the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana is encouraging all industry players not to relent on the effort in finding solutions to the manufacturing of COVID vaccines locally. They believe Ghana has the potential to be a pharmaceutical hub in West Africa.
The COVID-19 pandemic has been a wake-up call for Ghana and the rest of sub-Saharan Africa. It has brought to the fore why building vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostic manufacturing capacity is critical to addressing public health crisis. Consequently, the pharmaceutical industry has now recognized the need to develop capacity to produce vaccines domestically and reduce dependence on foreign supplies. Benjamin Boche is the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana.
We have spoken about local manufacture of pharmaceuticals for a long time. We are now faced with a pandemic, and therefore the focus has come. Let us maintain that focus, let us maintain that momentum, and not wait for the next pandemic or the next epidemic before we begin to refocus. I believe that Ghana stands an advantage in West Africa to be the hub for pharmaceutical manufacturing.
He reiterated the need for local manufacturing companies to enter into joint ventures to expand their capacities.
Looking at internal collaboration within even the manufacturers themselves, where nobody decides to go alone, but thinking about consortiums and thinking about joint ventures and so on, that will bring the needed capacity to be able to do that. When I talk about capacity, I mean financial capacity, human resource capacity, and other resources that will because vaccine manufacturing is expensive.
We're going back to the Ashanti region, where management of the Takfo Hospital is appealing for infrastructure expansion to enable it to meet the healthcare needs of the people. Now, we understand that over 300,000 patients access healthcare in one of the most patronized hospitals aside Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital.
The Tafo Government Hospital, which was established as an urban health center in 1976 to serve 4,000 patients, currently serves over 300,000 patients. Despite the increase in patient numbers, the hospital is yet to see any infrastructural expansion. It currently serves the entire Tafo municipality and other districts and municipalities like Swami, Krabri East Municipality, Buokrum areas, among others. This abandoned maternity block, which was started about 12 years ago, has stalled due to lack of funds. The medical superintendent of the hospital, Dr. Kwame Ajaman, expressed concern about lack of space in the facility.
No extra buildings or let's say the infrastructure has been added to it. So we are congested and forced to use the little space which was created way back in 1976 to serve the larger populace that we have now. And that has led to a major congestion in our hospital, especially the wards.
He also appealed to government and other benevolent organizations to come to their aid to complete the abandoned 12-year-old maternity block. Meanwhile, the national youth organizer of the governing New Patriotic Party, Henry Nanabuache, has cut sword for the construction of a 28-bed children's ward and OPD clinic to ease the infrastructural challenge.
Let's now do sports with Daniela Alote.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Kel Kids Toothpaste.
It's time to do sports on News 360. I am Aniela Alote. We start off with historic news for Jamaica's Elaine Thompson-Herah, who defends her title to win the women's 100-meter race at 10.61 seconds, breaking the Olympic record by 0.01 seconds, which was held by Florence Gifford-Joyner of the United States. Now, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price came second at 10.74 seconds, and Cherika Jackson at 10.76 seconds. Let's take a look at the record-breaking race.
On your mark.
Watching live, 8 paths converge. It's a clean start. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price got stars, but it's Elaine Thompson-Herah who successfully defends silver. And I think it was a clean sweep for the Jamaicans with Cherika Jackson bright once again in the Tokyo night. She was not to be denied. It again in Japan. An unbelievable race, an unbelievable performance. Marginal headwind.
Go up against the Never Give Up boys, Midiama, who, true to their motto, fought for glory in the quarterfinal in spite of stiff competition from Atram Academy. It will be never say die and never give up, locking horns. That will be all for the sports segment. I am Aniela Alute. For more news and updates, it's 3 Sports on all social media platforms.
Today were NLA 539 direct draw results coming to you live from the Brennan Hall of the National Lottery Authority. The winning numbers for tonight's draw are Congratulations to all Dewa NLA 539 direct winners for tonight. See you same time tomorrow. Be the next winner. Simply dial *446# and select option 1 to play Dewa NLA 539 direct. You can also play at selected Lotto kiosks across the country. Dewa NLA 539 direct. Afa winning no. It's shock. Winning. Sale, yeah, kinda direct. Now what's this saying? With Dewa NLA 539 direct, you only have to select up to 5 numbers from 1 to 39. To play, dial *446# across all mobile networks and select option 1. With a minimum of 2 Ghana cedis, you can bet on direct 1. Match the first number and win 20 times your stake. Direct 2. Match 2 numbers and win 45 times your stake. Direct 3. Match 3 numbers and win 400 times your stake. Direct 4. Match 4 and win 5,000 times your stake. Direct 5. Match all 5 numbers to win 50,000 times your stake. The more you play, the more you win. Look out for the draw results on TV3 News at 7 p.m. Win easy, win every day with Dewa NLA 539 direct. Afa, winning no, it's shock.
The show was a jar or bar anyone conquer dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat. Lufat.
In Jija, woman malaria and kawan to them. Lufat, a malaria drop a cup.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a 2 malaria sentence. FDA,
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Puma Drinks.
And the leadership of the DJs Union of Ghana, Juga, and Musica, they have entered into an agreement to promote the works of Musica members and also collaborate to facilitate the development of Ghana's music industry. Now, the partnership, among other things, will seek to eliminate the payment of payola, which has become apparently a canker in the radio and music industry in the country.
The partnership will see the 2 bodies work together to promote Ghanaian music and jointly organize workshops to build the capacity of their members. Acting Musica President Bessa Simons is excited. The arrangement will ensure that as many musicians as possible will have their songs heard and be given airtime to showcase their talents.
For us, this is a marriage that is going to go far, and Musica members are going to benefit. My personal expectation is to see more musicians heard across Ghana. When people come to Ghana, they will hear different varieties of music from different artists. You know, we can't continue listening to the only 10. No, we need to bring all music out.
He encouraged musicians to register with Musica to benefit from the fruits of the partnership. The MOU seeks to also address the challenges of musicians, especially budding artists who have to pay DJs for their songs to be played on radio. Reverend Victor Kpakpo Adu Jr., known popularly as DJ Azigiza Jr., is the patron for the DJs Union of Ghana.
Whatever we've been doing has been on the unofficial basis. It's like, oh, Charlie, my party, oh, if you play my song, oh, yeah, cool, that be that kind of thing. But for the first time, we are trying to officialize it. We are cementing a marriage. We are looking at ways that we can promote music. We are looking at how we can bring down this animal called payola. We are trying to see how we can be of benefit to each other. Some people will play some songs and all of a sudden it's a hit, and others will play, they have good tracks, but it's not a hit. The bridge is the DJ, and that is why we are cementing this thing.
Musica and Juga will also be collaborating to discover talents, promote and build them up to become music superstars.
What we want to do is to have what you call cases, so that in the future there will be case studies. We will be able to put a case and say, when Musica and Juga came together, we were able to make Kwame Kofi Mante's song the biggest song in Africa, and it got to make it to the Grammys, and it got to make it to the BETs. These are things we want to do. So there are monumental cases that we can refer to and give people reasons why they should join formidable forces like this.
Juga and the Sierra Leone DJs Union, SLEDU, also signed a similar arrangement to promote talent from the two countries.
In international news, the World Food Programme says part of a convoy of 208 trucks that had been held up while heading for Ethiopia's northern war-torn region of Tigray has now been allowed to leave. The WFP had earlier warned that its food stocks in the region would run out on Friday. A convoy of 44 trucks left Semera, the capital of the neighboring Afar region, on Wednesday, but is yet to reach Tigray.
And that's it for now. Make sure you get all the latest updates. We have 3news.com, TV3 Ghana on all our relevant social media platforms. And we're hoping that you have a great evening. My name is Roland Walker.
And I'm Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Up next is Music. Enjoy.